afternoon from the town of Hassan Abdal, which is not too far from Islamabad and Rawalpindi. Islamabad and Rawalpindi are twin cities, they're right next to each other. I'm about an hour's drive from there in the small town of Hassan Abdal, which is famous for containing a rock with the handprint of the first Guru of Sikhism, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I've wanted to come here for so long because I've seen pictures of the handprint, and it's just something that my grandmother actually told me years ago, that she came here pre-partition with my grandfather, and I said that someday I hope to be able to visit it. It's taken me the best part of my life so far to get here, and I'm pleased that I've done so, because this Gurdwara is associated with the first Guru. Like I said, the history behind it is that he came here with his faithful companion Bhai Mardana, and this place lacks, the city actually in the area lacks water. There's not a lot of water here, and Bhai Mardana wanted to drink some water, and the water that was contained at the time was near a Sufi saint called Wali Gandhari. He had an area which had water, but Wali Gandhari turned him away and said, there's nothing here for you. And Bhai Mardana went there 3 times, and each time he was turned away. He said, if your master is so special, go and get some from him. Guru Nanak at that time had a staff, so to speak, and he hit the staff on the ground, and a spring appeared from there. Wali Gandhari's pond or lake dried up, and incensed at this, he pushed a rock down the edge. That rock was stopped by Guru Nanak Dev Ji with his hand, and that's where the handprint is. It's a Gurdwara that the building dates to Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time, and it's pretty much maintained the same shape and colours, I think, as well, because I've seen pictures that are probably from the 1930s and 40s. The shape is still the same, and even the earliest colour photos show pretty much the same colours that I can see. It is one of those Gurdwara that you got to make a bit of an effort for to get here. It's if you were landing in Lahore like we did, it's a good few hours drive from there. If you are in Islamabad, it's close, because that's another international airport. But then you've got to make your way to Lahore and the surrounding areas to see the rest of them. If you're here maybe sightseeing, I'm not sure what the protocol for getting in is, because I know that some tourists have tried to get in here, and I know the authorities are quite strict as well on entry. I think you've got to get written permission. For Sikhs, they're pretty relaxed about it. Just show your passport details, visa details, and then let you in, which they do at all of them. I've had no complaints whatsoever in gaining access to any of these places, because they're open for us all year round, 24/7, and so I haven't seen anything that it goes contrary to that. So if I just show you what the Gurdwara looks like, it's a fantastic building. It's a little bit unique compared to the others that I've seen in Pakistan. It's different in that the water, I think, around the perimeter of it, I think, is what makes it. And because it's a spring, it's something that's a little bit different, I think, from the others. The others have tended to be attached to agricultural land, and they've had that associated with the Gurdwara Panja Sahib, for example, the Nankana Sahib ones, Rodi Sahib in Ahmedabad, that too was attached to, I think that was 50 acres, I think. If I'm right, or something close to that, where they grow fruit. So this is it's a little bit hidden away. It's not something that you'd find. It was tricky getting up here because it's narrow streets, and I imagine that in November and April it's very difficult to get in, and it would be crowded to get inside. But I think once you're inside, they've got rooms here as well, because they were saying to me, do you want to stay here the night? And I said, we've got a flight to catch, so I've got to go. So it's one of those ones where if you're a tourist, it's probably worth checking out if you want to stay here the night. If I was doing my trip again, I probably would stay here. I actually want to explore this place a bit more and stay here a bit longer, but it's a restriction of time really, but I think it's one of those ones. I think if you were staying here, stay here for a night. Langar is here, free food, free tea. I've already eaten once and I've had tea as well, and you know, it's operating round the clock, so you've got no shortage of that. And I think it's just it's a nice, I think coming up here is a nice place. It's a nice place to visit. Hassan Abdal itself looked like an interesting place. I would like to spend some time exploring this, but I've got to get to the airport. It's one of those places that I think that if you were in Islamabad or Rawalpindi, it's worth an excursion to see it, because it's just something different. I'm just walking up to where the rock with the handprint is, and it's surrounded by water. There's a spring there which I'm walking down. It's not that deep, but this is where the spring is, and this is where the rock with the handprint is, just here. That is where Guru Nanak Dev Ji's handprint is, just there. So just walking around this complex area, it's quite nice here actually. It's quite narrow to get through from the streets, the alleyways to get here, but once you're in, it's quite an open space. And this itself was built during Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time. The current building here, the current standing one that I'll show you just here, there's water all the way around it, leading to the spring. And I've actually seen this, I've heard this from a lot of people, that there's fish in here, but once you tend to walk into the water, they disperse from the rock. See, they've gone. The fish themselves are going away. Once you leave this area, they're automatically attached back to the handprint. So they're there, they're getting ready for me to leave, and then they'll go back. They're just naturally attracted to the rock with the handprint. So yeah, another historic Gurdwara, I would say, associated with the Sikh religion. Guru Nanak's handprint, I think, is a very unique thing to have. I think for us to say that we can go and touch, it's a bit like saying, I think for Christians, if they're the handprint of Jesus, maybe along a similar line. So just here at the sitting at the on the steps near the main entrance, a privilege to actually have touched that handprint. I heard all about it when I was a kid, heard a lot of stories about it, I've seen it a lot on TV. A lot of people come here in November and April, and some people do try and come throughout the year at various times like we have now, but just to come here, it's the final Gurdwara that I'm visiting, and it's probably the one that I would say that will end up being the most memorable, because it's just it's actually a little bit unique. Not just that it contains a handprint, but also in the layout of it, the structure, the water around it, and the spring. I think makes it. I could spend days here actually, and I wish there's lots of rooms here. They were saying there's rooms available to stay the night, and they're all free of charge as well to people. I wish I had an extra day. I haven't, and I've got to go back home. And but if I had, I could truly spend a good few days here. It's just one of those places. It's so peaceful inside. It came from Rawalpindi this morning to get here, and gone through the rush, the traffic, and the chaos that is on the streets. But then coming here, it's so peaceful inside. I wish I could stay here longer, but needs must, and I've got to go back. Right, I'm just on my way to leave this place to head for Islamabad airport, and I couldn't resist for one last time, because who knows if I ever come back here again. I wish I do, but who knows what tomorrow brings. So just for one last time, and with that I bid farewell to Gurdwara Panja Sahib and the town of Hassan Abdal. It's been a memorable trip to Pakistan. Lots of memories, lots of laughs, lots of videos. It's been an experience that I think I'll remember for the rest of my life. You know, there's lots of people that I've met on the way, especially the selfie brigade. That's something that I'll never forget. Something that was new and novel for me. But even the others that I've met, the kind people who've invited me for lunches and dinners, invited me on ARY TV, so many names, and I don't want to name every single one because I'll probably miss someone out. So those that have given me their time and taken me in, I say thank you to all of those. And I've made friends, I think, that will last a lifetime, if not beyond. And it's something that I think if you are thinking of coming to Pakistan, make the trip out here, see for yourself. I guarantee you will enjoy it, because I certainly have.
Thank you.